Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Well, I think we're on, folks. I hope I'm doing this right. I'm still learning how to operate this thing. Am I on YouTube or not? I'm on StreamYard. I guess I'm broadcasting on YouTube. I don't know. I hope I'm on YouTube and everything like that. I don't know what's going on, but I just keep doing my shows and everything. But eventually, I guess I'll figure this out. One day. How to get this? How to get this? I got how to get this up, but. What's up, J Mom? I'm trying to figure this thing out, man. I'm on StreamYard. I'm broadcasting live on StreamYard, but I don't know if it's on YouTube though. So I'm trying to connect my StreamYard to my YouTube.
Okay, hold on. YouTube. So let me see this. Yeah, it should be like a link where you drop it in there.
Stream key.
What's your YouTube channel again?
College Genesis Radio.
Oh, College Genesis Radio. Okay, College Genesis Radio. Because I don't see it on YouTube.
Yeah, I did a show last week. It was linked together. I don't know what the heck happened.
Okay, I see it now. It says you're live, brother.
On YouTube?
You're live right now. Yeah,
you
live.
You see my face?
Yeah, you live.
Oh, so I'm on YouTube. Okay, good. Good.
Right.
Good. So I don't know how you click, how you call in. I don't see the link.
You might. I don't know if you want because I can see you. I don't know if you want to do put your Califanos joint on. Cause I see your face and everything.
All right. But I'm saying is, how do I get a link if you want to come on?
You gotta put the link. It should be a StreamYard link that you put in the chat.
Let's see. It's not present. Invite. I see. Invite. Copy.
So throw it in the chat. Just copy and paste it in the chat.
All right. Let's see. Do you see in the chat?
Yeah, I see in the chat.
Okay. All right. That's it. If you want to come on, you can discuss this controversial topic. I know this thing when people listen are going to get pissed off when they listen to this show. But you know how I am. I don't give a fuck. It's a topic we've been saying under our breath for years, but we got to talk about this,
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't see you giving up your industrial job and electricity to go pick coconuts on the side of the road in Lagos,
Not that I know of.
And how do you get the majority of Black America involved in the Pan-Africanism if all you offer is third worldism? That's the divide. Africans is not the Pan-African world is not equal. Africans have everything to gain by coming over here, getting into our business and everything, and we have nothing really to gain from Africa. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing to gain. I'm just being realistic. There's nothing to gain. We're taking all the freaking risk. So this is the thing. So I don't know if you want to come on the screen and talk about this.
I'm trying to come on. It won't let me on though.
What's it saying?
You might. You know what you could do? Because the beginning when you talking is going to be on your replays. Do you want to start it over? Start from the top.
I don't think I could do that without scheduling it again.
Oh, okay.
You click on the link and what did it say?
So I'm trying to hold on. Trying to sign in.
Oh yeah, you gotta sign in to your YouTube channel.
All right, there you go. There you go. Let's be it right here. All right, there you go.
So you should be popping up on my screen sometime, right?
Yeah.
I don't see you yet.
So into the studio.
All right, did you enter the studio?
Yeah, it's not letting me in though.
What's it saying?
It said continue. Hold on. All right, saying continues to stream, y'all. Yeah, it's not letting me in. Do your account, stream your account, let people on?
Yeah. It's a basic account. Lets people on, I believe. Yeah, this is a basic account.
All right, let me come in on my pad and see what's the difference.
Yeah. You come on YouTube, your phone is difficult.
All right, let me call you back.
All right. Yeah, but tonight's topic is the Pan-African conundrum, right? You have people who are Pan-Africans, right? African Americans and Black South Africans too are the only really first world Black people on the planet. And so therefore our Pan-African worldview is going to be different than people coming from the developing world, the third world. And so therefore, like I said, I'm seeing there's a sharp divide in value system. And a lot of Africans I talk to, they believe in open borders and stuff like this. And we're saying, wait a minute here, you can't just come to anybody's country and we believe in the idea of the republic or the nation state, or have republic has laws and everything that just you become a citizen of that country and everything like that. Yeah, you could be a Pan-Africanist, but you can't just bum rush somebody's country and just take over. It don't work like that. And that's what you have in South Africa. You got millions of people want to come to South Africa and change the face in the culture of South Africa in the name of Pan-Africanism. Same thing they're trying to do in America. It's to the point where now Black people in America aren't allowed. It's almost like we're not allowed to be African Americans anymore. We have to be just, if we say we're African American or identify African American, we're frowned upon. But everybody else is free to come here and celebrate where they're from, Jamaica, Nigeria, and everything like this. But when you say you're African American, that your ancestors helped build this country right here, and you try to take pride in the accomplishments of Black America and everything like that, people come condemn you and everything. That's not right. If a Nigerian could be proud of being a Nigerian and everything like that, why can't I be proud of what I am? It's just like if somebody coming from New York, you come down to New York and you move down to Virginia and everything like that. Even though, like, when I came down to Virginia, actually, I just made it. I'm from New York. I'm not gonna apologize for where I come from. Wherever you're from and wherever you come from, those experiences and everything, you never give that up. And so what we have is way too many people who just basically believe that they have to give up their identity to make other people happy. That's not real. That's not real. You should be proud of who you are and what your lineage and your distinction and whatever you do. And at the same time, we find common ground when it comes to Pan-Africanism. Okay, that's what you say. This is what the way we see things, and let's figure it out. And also, I want to talk about the fact that I don't want Black America falling into third worldism. Third worldism is dangerous. We're falling into third worldism. You know what I'm saying? We Black people help build the modern industrial world, the modern suburbia, the modern way of life and everything. That's what we are. We're the only really truly industrialized Black people on the planet. We're not third world people. We don't live hand to mouth and stuff like that, bordering on hunter and gathering. Most of us are employed. Most of us have savings. Most of us have health care. Most of us have formal education and stuff like this. And most of us have high expectations about life and everything, quality of life and everything. We don't have to worry about starvation and things like that that the third world go to. Which so therefore, when you're talking to people and they're talking, how are we going to survive as a race? Well, our situation is not the same as somebody living in West Africa. You know, there we go. J Mall. What's up, J Mall? Who you got that guy from uh
5-star General Austin.
man, come on, J Mall. Man. You break my heart all the time, man. God damn. You big platoon, man.
What's going on, Colin?
Hey, how would know if you wasn't backsliding and cooning and whatnot, you know? That's why I had to call you, get you right. What the hell is J Mall up to and shit, you know?
Oh, no. I'm still on point, man. You
Yeah,
know.
backsliding and cooning and whatnot. I know that. I know, man. When you hear that, I'm proud to be in America. You get all swooning with patriotism. Y'all niggas and whatnot, man. You out there in the barbecue. You just have Memorial's Day and whatnot. You was out there with your American flag.
No,
You're
man,
eating some
never.
barbecue chicken and shit like that, you know, do it in the corner of the couch. Come on, I know,
Yeah.
nigga. I know Memorial's Day.
Oh, man, that's funny, man. How you been, though, brother?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good, man. As you see, I'm out of the hospital. I'm out of rehab and everything. Get myself back to. I drove for the first time today in like a month or so. You know.
That's a good sign.
Yeah, I drove, man. I don't know when I'm going to be doing appointments anymore time soon. I went to the shopping today, you know, and stuff like that. I was like, God, that was so much energy I took out of me, man. I was like, shit, how am I going to go on my appointments when I got to go to people's houses, walk up flights of stairs and shit like that, you know? I don't know
Right.
how I'm going to get back into my regular groove of things, but it's going to eventually come. I'll get my strength back.
Absolutely, man. I'm just glad you back, man. You know, you doing your thing, Calithanos.
Yeah, you know, and so, like I said, I've been seeing a lot of stuff, opinions going around and whatnot. I got a lot of friends in this movement, a lot of people I love on YouTube, but a lot of people I love but I disagree with, you know. And my goal with this show is to set the record straight on a lot of stuff because people ask, "What's Carl think about this?" Now I don't have to filter. You don't have to ask anymore. You can call this show and get it from the horse's mouth. You know,
Right.
get it from the horse's mouth. Whatever you want to talk about. You want to talk about what I think about Julius Malema. You want to hear about what I think about Trump. You want to hear about whatever it is. It's fair game. You know. So this is what this platform is all about. And the
Hey,
pan.
Kyle, I think you should address because you know your friends on the other side. You know they talk about this BAIO split and
Oh yeah,
stuff
I'm gonna
like
talk about that tonight. I'm gonna get into that tonight. Definitely gonna get into that tonight. And maybe one of these clowns will call in and whatnot because I'm sick of that dealing with that coward hole. If he was half a man, he would confront me. If he really believes what he believes, why don't he be man enough to come out here and confront me instead of making
Right.
little YouTube videos selling wolf tickets and shit like that, man? Come on here. You can go on Dynasty show, you can go on Brandon's show, you can go on anybody's show and say I challenge College Genesis to a debate about who started the BAO and everything. And I'll break it down to him how this Negro was an anarchist when I first met him. He didn't believe in government. He didn't believe in infrastructure, none of that shit when he first met me. But the idea of black infrastructure and stuff like that, I've been studying for 30-something years. You know, when I was at the Shiloh Science Institute, how governments and stuff like that work with private sector and business and everything, produce the idea of a republic or a nation state. You know, I've been studying it for decades. I said that's the answer to Black America right there. We can ever have our own nation state. That's why I came up coining the term Afrikstan. You know, next thing you know, he's gonna say he coined the term Afrikstan. I coined that. You know, and to make my point about that was a good idea is I wrote about Liberia. I started about Liberia. I said we did this before. Imagine if we did this in the 19th century with no technology, what we could do in the 20th century. You know, 21st century. And therefore, when people when they read my book, and hopefully one day when it becomes a movie and everything, it's like, dang, that's how we answered racism back in the day. We said we want our own land, we want to build our own country and stuff like this, you know. And so therefore, I was the only one saying that. And that's what whole came on board. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because it was logical. I believe in LARP. I believe in LARP. LARP is an acronym. It means what's logical, achievable, reasonable, and practical. And so therefore I said anything that's logical, achievable, reasonable, and practical. And how do you do that? You look at history. I study history, and everything I'm talking about as far as like nation building and Pan Africanism has been success in history. I go by how I look at. I look at countries like Japan. I say every country that gets up on its feet and becomes prosperous one day, they do it the right way. They become a people. They become a nation state. You know, they become a people. And when you become a people, you can form your own government because you are 99% on the same page. You cannot build. That's the problem with the Pan African movement. We got way too many tribes. We have made way too many ideologies. Way too many individuals doing their own thing, and that's why we formed the BAO, I said we have to be on the same page. You can't have like the Bradley and Patricks doing their own thing. You know, and so oh no, no big deal, no big deal. No, you can't do that. You gotta have one singular message, and then you know how we all come to that message is how we put it together. But you can't have people doing their own thing and stuff like that. And you got people out there and say, well, what is the message? Are we about the black family? What is our message about interracial marriage? What is our message about the LGBTQ? And I said I had strong opinions on these things. You know, I said these things could destroy the foundation of what you're trying to build. And he didn't want to see it like that. You know, oh yeah. So in other words, just some gossip club that he was trying to create, where people basically just says I'm a Pan Africanist just to say they reject America. Did you ever get that from him, Jamal?
Yeah. I think it's more like if kind of escapism. You know,
Escapism,
I
you know,
want
I was
to
more
escape America, you know, and just land in this magical place called Africa, you know. And I don't know how practical that is, you know. I thought the initial thing that you were proposing to the BIO is look, one foot in Virginia, right, and the other foot maybe in Liberia, you know,
yeah,
like the Jews do in Brooklyn, you know. And I
yeah.
think the message became less that, and it was more like, oh, we got to get out of here, you know. You know, it's like kind of this escape kind of thing,
And
you
then,
know.
and then when you look at it, right, I said right around that time, we had the Buy Black movement. Remember that? People were going online, going on black owned, even
Yeah,
to this day, black owned
yeah.
business apps and whatnot are booming. You know, the number of black businesses exploded over the last 10 years, you know. I said, look, we keep what we have in America. I said, and I started the Blacks Winning. Remember the Blacks Winning series?
Yeah, I remember that Blacks winning. Yep, I remember
Every
that.
time I would post Black's winning series, oh man, no man, you know him here he comes talk about we ain't winning, we gotta have our own nation. So in other words, you want to discredit everything black people are doing in America to have this magical nation that you're never gonna have and whatnot. And the answer is wherever black people are successful, you support, you know,
Right.
and the nation state and whatever you're gonna do in Africa is just an extension of your success in America.
Absolutely.
That was my philosophy and everything. So I don't know where he was coming from, you know. So every time we start talking about black people's success in America, he get upset. Nah, man, we ain't no success.
But why he get upset? Because if you talk about Africa, he don't know about the nuances of even Africa. So
I
why he gets
know,
upset?
no,
You know?
Africa is not a real place to him. This is a fantasy place, you know, where all our problems are solved. And you know, your problem would just be beginning when you go to the continent, you know. You think your problems are bad, and here, man, you go to the continent unprepared, man. You know, you seen that happen right now, and all these black people going to the continent. Look at all this drama in the Gambia and Ghana.
Right.
You know,
Hey, they had a guy on the show called asking, so hold up, what are you some of the things you're teaching in these classes in Liberia? He couldn't even answer that question. You
he ain't
know,
teaching nothing.
because he don't know like the nuances of certain stuff. Like what are
He
you
don't he
teaching
don't know
these
the
people?
politics
Yeah.
of the country. He
Nope.
don't know
Nope.
nothing.
Nope.
Liberian politics is so toxic. I stay out of it almost. You know, I stay out of it. I got top people in Liberia, politicians and everything like that. I know the mayor of Monrovia. You know, I know the mayor of Monrovia, and I'm friends with the people who are right next to the president, Boca. You know, my guy,
Right.
Mr. Fellows. He runs a unity party in America, right? He helped get Boca elected and whatnot. That's one of my right-hand men in Liberia, you know. I got my guy Ross and everything. We have a whole team on the ground that gets everything done. We with the tourism bureau. I'm part of the Liberian Tourism Association. The BAIO is known in Liberian government circles as a branch, as a legitimate branch to Black America, you know. And some of the top people, you know, Hester Baker, you know, Dr. Kula, you know, she did that movie Providence and whatnot. All of them are connected with me.
I mean, you're clearly way more informed about Liberia than Holop. I mean, it's not even close.
And
So
he's
I
just
don't even know
jealous.
why he would do that. Yeah, why would he do that?
It's envy and jealousy. You know, he wants to be me and whatnot, but he can't. Instead of being the best Holoptism he could be and finding another country, whatever like that, he just wants to rain on my plate like I'm gonna disappear, you know? It's been 5 years since I spoke to him. Have I disappeared? No. I'm still here going stronger. I brought the first ever large African-American tour group to Liberia back in March. You know, first ever. It was 17 people, a tour group, whatnot. They had a good time, whatnot. You know, they got to see the country and everything like that. It wasn't perfect, but no one's ever done a tour like that to Liberia. I did the first one, and that wasn't easy.
Yeah,
So
because you was preaching that for years. You know, Liberia, go tour, and you got it done. I gotta get credit on that. You got that tour done.
yeah, I got the tour done and whatnot. You know, so what does he do? You think he's gonna do some whatever the hell he's doing from America, throw some money at some problem, and then think he's gonna overtake me and whatnot? It doesn't work like that. Liberians are not stupid. He tried to recruit some of my people in the BA. They said, no, we're with Kala. You know, no, we can't. You know, and people like, no, we're with College Genesis. You know, you're not with College Genesis. These people love me so much. I'm treated like a king in Liberia. You know, I'm like royalty. You know, and I respect the Liberian people. You know, I have a lot of respect for them. I have love and respect for the Liberian people. It's like a mutual thing. And also, my wife is Liberian. I'm married into the country.
Absolutely.
You know, I have a stake in the country's future because my wife's Liberian. So what does he have? What does he have as far as Liberia? No. If remember they said Rwanda's like Wakanda. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, you guys, everybody, you went on a tour. Yeah, I was like, Rwanda's still a good country. I have nothing against Rwanda. But I said my first place my first place I'm gonna touch down Africa is gonna be Liberia, and I did it.
Yep. And that's where your King Holop got stuck and didn't want to come out the truck when we were stuck in the jungle.
Yeah, he was stuck in the jungle. He's supposed to be the leader and whatnot.
You're the leader, and you want to come out the truck, you know.
Sad situation, you know.
Sad, man. Yep.
You know, these guys, man. You know, I tell you, man. And Holop is not a tenth of the man I am. You know, I'm a real freaking man. You know, I take charge. I take leadership and everything like that. I take leadership very seriously, as far as like anything I go to do. But like I said, like I said, as far as the topic of tonight, I said, look, we have to really relook at this. I look at the failure of Julius Malema. You know, he placed really bad in Liberia. You know, South Africa. South African Black people rejected him. After all that, we're gonna take all the white people's land and all like that. What is it about South Africa? Yeah, like look, let me tell you something. And if you're gonna, let me tell you something about how Black people are, or whether it's in America or any place else. There's got to be some sort of way where the Black people who have a stake in the world, right, who are winning, right, got to sort of delineate from these Black people who have nothing to lose. They got everything to gain and nothing to lose. So they can get up there and make bombastic statements and everything like that because they got nothing to lose. If you're in America and you're trying to get ahead, you got contracts, jobs, everything like that, and you say, like, I got to stay away from Pan-Africanism because they hear some of the rhetoric coming from so-called Pan-Africanist people or not. And I'm going to tell people that that's not what we're all about. You know, We're not a racist group. We don't hate America. We don't hate white people. We don't hate all this stuff like this, you know. We're pro-black, you know, we're pro-black, we're building our thing. Just like the Jews have the Zionist movement, right? And they just say, look, here's what they want. You step in our way, then we're gonna check you, you know, you get in our way, that's one thing. And that's why I say like this and there should be no white person or non-black person who opposed to my version of BAL. Because I'm not asking them for anything. I'm not asking them for anything. I'm not trying to take your land, but I do believe Africa, like I said, has a shirt Bomani made, Africa for Africans. I do believe that the African continent belongs to the black man. That means that we should be help in building the continent and everything. And Africa should serve the interests of its people and build its wealth to give everybody a decent standard of living and everything. But there's some people with other ideas. They think Africa is just a place where they're going to get raw materials and resources and everything and bleed the continent dry and everything. And then there's some people like it's easier just to cooperate with the Europeans in the exploitation of Africa. I'm against that. And like I said, me and my partners in Liberia, we're like this, you know, we're saying no more, we don't support no more extraction industries. If you're going to, if you want palm oil, you're going to come here and build a palm oil factory. If you want rubber, you're going to come here and build a tire factory. You're going to add value to the stuff and build industries around your thing, just like they did in white South Africa. And so we're going to change the dynamic. We're changing the dynamic by changing the way people think. A lot of Africans don't think. Somalia against Panama. Why he rejected by South Africa? Because South Africans are not stupid. South Africans are not stupid. They know that deep down inside, when Jules Malema says, "Oh, we want all these black people from other countries," you know, the only people that benefit from that are these white capitalists and businesses that use cheap labor in South Africa. You know, that's all that's about. Because he can't see the exploitation thing. Is he joking? So the bottom line is, South Africa is a republic. The black people in South Africa have a right to a republic. That's their republic. You know, the Kenya's a Kenyan, a Ugandan's Ugandan. Let enough Kenyans start flooding into Uganda, it's going to be a problem. Rightfully so. You know, so now what I believe is, if somebody is basically a key people. Now, if you're an engineer, let's say you're an engineer from Kenya, you should be given priority over somebody who's just an unskilled worker and stuff like that. That's how Pan-Africanism work. If we were intelligent people, that's how Europe and Asia does. You know, you'll have Thailand, Taiwan, South Korea, and everything are building these modern fusion cities. You know, these modern state-of-the-art cities where they're going to be getting young Asian graduates from all over Southeast Asia and Asia working there, competing on that. So you'll have a enclave in South Korea. They'll have Thai, Singaporeans, everybody there, and they're going to have a banking sector and all this stuff like IT, all stuff like this, which is smart and intelligent. But you can't just have a bunch of people. Africans can't have a whole continent of bottom feeders all the time. We have to get to that point. You understand where I'm coming from, Jamal?
Exactly. I think also what Africa could benefit, you know, even if we keep these countries, I think autonomous cities could be a way to go. Look what they're doing over there in the United Emirates, right? And
Exactly.
Dubai.
That's what the African was all about, you know.
Right.
You know? And people don't understand that. It wasn't just an African American state. Yeah, sure, we're going to lead it, and we're going to be the primary people run, of course. I mean, I'd be a fool if I'd be like, "Oh yeah, we're going to build a state and whatnot," and then we have a bunch of Nigerians calling the shots. It don't work like that, you know. If we're the ones building it, and now if you're an engineer or a doctor from Ghana and whatnot, we'll welcome you, you know. So therefore, that's what Pan-African works, you know. But you're joining our way of life, our society, which has to be preserved. It's gonna be our story. You're gonna know who W.E.B. Du Bois was. You're gonna know who Frederick Douglass was. The name on the money, the name on the currency, the monuments, everything's gonna be based on us.
But Kyla, do you think some Pan Africans don't want the story of the African American in North America to be preserved?
Because those are self-hating black people, Those are self-hating black people. Self-hating black people. They will go from one form of self-hate to another. They're around white people all the time, hating themselves, right? So they go to Pan Africans. Oh, well, so they end up having the same self-hate that they had when they was cooning. And so it basically turns into another coon fest, where people are trying to be like, oh, I'm African. No, it's just a way of hating yourself, because being African American means you're a target. You have a target on your back with white America. You don't want you're always in confrontation with white America. That's the whole thing. And a lot of people figure like there's a lot of black people who would like to be Nigerian because white people don't have a problem with them, because Nigerians come over here and be like, man, I never was a slave. You know that stuff they say all the time.
Right. Yep.
And so therefore, white people, the problem is white people. They're the ones who's dictating all this, They're the ones who's dictating all this. So if you got Nigerians and Africans who basically don't know nothing about the slave trade, white people don't have that collective guilt. When they're around us, there's a certain way they have to speak because it's slavery there, That's that guilt, right? But when they're around other black people, they don't act like that,
Right.
And they're like, honestly, I have no racist. I'm not racist. I have a friend, but he's Nigerian, but he's Ghanaian, but he's a Kenyan, Yeah, I was talking to white people say, I've been talking to this Kenyan guy, and he don't like black people in America either. They don't like black people in America either. They even go so far as to try to turn other Africans against us,
Yep.
And so therefore, what I'm saying is this, and a lot of Africans don't say and stand in solidarity, we're black. They're like, oh, see, they're gonna take the bag. The white man got the bag, so I'm gonna come over here and be obedient and so like this, and that's dangerous for us because we make the case that America is still a racist country, and you got Africans coming over here desperate. Like I said, the third world versus the first world. We're not in that desperate situation where we have to kiss white people's ass. White people want us on our knees, but we need them and we got to kiss the ass and everything. We're not there yet. Africans are. They come here, they're coming from a desperate situation. They need that green card. They need to do us. We don't have to. We can say, fuck you. We're citizens here. You can't do anything. You can't deport us. You can't do nothing about us. So white people try their best to basically discredit us, in the eyes of other black people and everything. That's why when you see all this diaspora world, it's all this hatred towards black America, and it's all formulated by white people. That's just the way it is.
Hey, Kyla. So your title says Pan African Conundrum: First World versus the Third World. Do you want to dive into that a little more? Because I'm just curious your analysis.
Okay, what I'm saying is this: the third world people, they're coming from Kaiser always says on the show, a desperate situation. They're in survival mode, really. They're in survival mode. Those visas and everything. So they come here, they'll see opportunity you and I won't see. They'll take those Uber Eats jobs and stuff like that, and do all these jobs and everything because they're in survival mode. We're not in that mode. You know what I'm saying? We're not in that desperate mode, and a lot of times they'll say stuff like, well, I come over here, I busted my butt, I did these jobs. Well, we don't have to do all that, a lot of black people in America have generational wealth, You have people that have houses they could pass down to their children, You got life insurance policies, We're not starting from scratch like after the black immigrants are. So therefore we can't, they expect us to think like they do, man, the bottom's about to fall out anytime and whatnot, And so therefore they end up staying in America and they never go back to their countries and develop.
Right. Many of them hunker down right here in America.
Yeah. So therefore, instead of them saying, okay, now you're in America, you're in our domain, our dominion, they want us to forget who we are. in the name of Pan-Africanism. No, you're in America. You're in America. This is where Black America holds sway. And I try to tell Black people in America that just be proud of what you are. This is for the most part is our country right here. This is where we are right here. They're coming over here as visitors. They're not on our level equally. And that's what the South Africans are saying. You know, they want Black South Africans to forget who they are. That these lands were Zulu, Xhosa, and stuff like that, you know, and the history. And they basically just like any Black person just floods in, and we just have this one Black identity. It don't work like that, because the moment you go to Nigeria, and West Africa is so tribalized, right? You go to any part of West Africa and whatnot, and you got Africans who claim land and whatnot. They're not trying to share their land with you, yet they go to other people's country and they want to basically, tribe and all that don't exist. You come to their country and whatnot, that's sacred land over there. My people had that land for thousands of years. Blah 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 blah. You know. So I think that's the conundrum we're in. You know, I always say like this: there's if you tell me with all these countries, big giant countries in Africa, you can't build new cities and states and whatnot where we can come and build and set up shop and build new cities and stuff like this, where we can pour our money to and invest in everything like that. We can't do that, and the Asians are doing that. Well, how do you think Dubai got built? You know, you have prototype models in Dubai and Asia of them building new fusion cities. You know, South Korea spent $50 billion building this new city. It's a state of the art. They're gonna have all these people from all over Asia flooding in there. You know, mathematicians, scientists, whatever. You know. But you do it right.
Some people, Carlos, but some people say, well, the West, built these different Asian countries up, got them jump started. Some people.
I don't believe that if you study Asia, Asian countries built themselves up because they were smart, they were organized, they were smart. Japan, the country that really built Asia was Japan. Japan was industrialized back in the days, and Japan invested a lot of its capital and funded a lot of Asian ventures in its development. Japan invested in South Korea. Japan invested in Singapore. Japan invested in Thailand. Japan had factories for all over Asia and whatnot. So therefore, Japan built up trading partners in this region. So the West, like people say, the West did all that, and that's what about the Black race. We always say give the West too much credit. And then when we look at other people, we try to say, no, Japan and Asia's building themselves up. No, the West. And we make that excuse. So that's why millions of you guys are flooding into Europe right now. Think about it. You got all these people in Africa, millions of people that coming across the Mexican border, trying to get into the United States. Think about it. That means there's no freaking infrastructure. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
And like I said, that's a third world freaking situation. Now, now the Pan-African world is dominated by these third world types. And the third world Black people, Pan-Africans, believe in globalism.
Globalism, yeah.
They don't believe in borders,
Yeah. That's funny.
They want to go to everybody's country and suck off the friggin' I also remember when the Ukraine situation broke out and you had Ukrainians beating Nigerians up.
Yeah.
This lady was talking about she was a student. This lady had a grandkids and she was on a student visa.
They was harassing them in Poland. Yep.
In Poland, how do you subject yourself to that shit, I said like this. I say, well, we got to no. That's not we. Us African Americans don't have to go through that, And when I go to the airport and everything like that, they see I got a U.S. passport and they hear my accent. They know I'm American. I get a certain respect, I never had a problem. I went to Morocco, I used Air Morocco, man. I got treated so much respect when I was there and whatnot. It was like, oh yeah, tell me about America. Tell me about America. It was so cool and shit like that. But the Africans always talk about, oh, Moroccans don't treat us. But I said, man, never got treated so much better in my freaking life. Because I'm not a global burden on anybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going in there. So that's the conundrum we have. People don't want to talk about that. I would love for some Africans to get on here and explain to us why is it that if we talk about Pan-Africanism, why do we have to side with you? I don't believe in open borders. I don't believe in people. And then on that, the Africans. Why are you every time I look around, Africans are proposing to white girls and all these other people? You know what I'm saying? They believe in race mixing and go, yeah, I'm gonna find me a nice Korean wife when I'm here. I'm like, you don't care about your race, your culture, and stuff like this. Think of Black America. We was able, for the most part, able to preserve ourselves 400 years under duress. You know what I'm saying? And we're still a people. We haven't mixed out and bred out. Everybody would think that we would be disappeared by now. And that's what they're trying to do right now. But every time you look around, you see these commercials where they're showing black women with white men and shit like this. They want us to breed our race out.
Yeah, absolutely.
And people say, "Oh, that's racist." No, go talk to me about Pan-Africanism if you don't believe in your preserving your race. That's what it's all about. That's the uncomfortable part of this Pan-African movement, right? Is you have to love who you are, accept who you are. Yeah, I'm not perfect. Black people, we're not perfect. We got our faults and everything. But if God made me this, God made me an African American. That's what I am, and that's what I got to roll with it. If I was a Jamaican, hey, God made me a Jamaican. I was born in Jamaica. I'd rep that to the fullest. You know what I'm saying? I'm a African American.
It's Kyle. Kyle, because sometimes being a Pan African, it was a period of my life where I might have thought the same thing as that escapism kind of thing, right? Oh man, you go I guess you go so far left Pan Africanism or so far right Pan Africanism, you kind of miss. Hold up, man, I'm still an African American, and you get caught up in these circles, right? You're surrounded. You got Caribbeans over here, Africans over here. I'm like, hold up. Everybody's saying I ain't got no country or I don't have no culture, but everybody else does. And you get, sometimes you may get a little confused as a Pan African. And I think a lot of Pan Africans go through that.
And the bottom line, a lot of African Americans, right, don't understand. Right. There's a lot of envy and jealousy towards African Americans in the Pan African world.
Right.
That's all it is. There's a lot of envy, jealousy. Envy and jealousy towards Black America. And so therefore, as mass as Pan-Africanism, when you defend yourself, when they get all salty, when you defend yourself and say, no, our people aren't like that. So in other words, every time somebody does something ratchet and ghetto, that's African American, right?
Oh yeah, they black, yep.
Yeah. But when somebody does something good and whatnot, like when a Nigerian does something good, he's a Nigerian student that did all this one, they got to point that out, They got to point that out. But when a Nigerian gets in trouble, they just basically say they make it seem like, oh, he's just a black kid. You know what I'm saying?
But Kyla, I don't think Pan-Africanism was like that in the 60s or
it wasn't.
70s. They were proud of like who they were. Like, where did the change go at? Where it's just kind of this
social media. That's all it is.
Extremes. Yeah.
Social media. That's all it is. Social media.
Okay.
And in chat rooms talking stuff that people wouldn't talk before. When we had Pan-African moves back in the days, we met in face to face in public.
That's a fact.
And so people, you may be Jamaican, Trinidadian, whatnot, but when you're around people, you're trying to build a following, whatever like that. You got to watch what you're saying around people. Now, people just get careless about what they say. Yeah, man. Oh, yeah, my people, they start bigging up their people from the islands and stuff like this and whatnot. And people are like, so what's so special about your people from the islands? But back in the days, you would just have a little roast session or whatever like that. And,
Yeah, yeah, he started roasting them back in the day.
you know what I'm saying? But now these people are basically like the Lou Major types, you know. They got the social media and they just come at it with it, you know. I said, you hear stuff like, my parents don't want, and they always try to make it seem like they work harder than us, you know. Like my parents told us don't hang around Black America, you know. Oh, really? And why are you going to a Black African American HBCU college, you know? You know, so what about all the
Right.
talent? So no, basically what they do is erase all Black American success and make it seem like we're just this fucking ghetto ass party culture and everything like that. That they're serious. And truth is, when it really comes down to it, the world don't take these people seriously. The world takes Black America seriously. We're the market. I was reading this one story where Coke wasn't treating Black people right, as far as like they're like that. You know, when you have two competing companies, right? You know, Black people usually are the deciding thing about who has the most dominant market share. Pepsi started making these nice commercials, right? Of showing Black people partying, Black family life, and everything like that. And Pepsi won over a substantial number of Black people to a thing, and it basically overtook Coke as the largest soft drink. I just heard the other day. Now Pepsi is number 3. Coke is still back to number 1. Now Dr. Pepper is number 2. You know, everything. But what I'm saying was that was back in the 60s and 70s. Black America was key in making Pepsi the Pepsi generation. Remember that?
Yep.
And then who did Coke have? They had Bill Cosby, you know? You know, they had Bill Cosby. So they were competing back and forth for the black dollars, right? And that, when you talk about billions of dollars thing, that's what it's like. If Black America says, you know, fuck T-Mobile, T-Mobile's fucked. You know? And we say fuck Verizon, Verizon's fucked, you know?
Right, because they lose that deciding market share.
Market share. So you think and the thing is, they don't make no money in Africa or no money in the Caribbean. You think they really give a damn about the powers that be? Give a damn what Caribbeans and Africans really think?
Not really. Mm.
They care about what Black America thinks. You know, that's what they just like. It's voting now, right now. Nobody's asking Africans and Caribbean immigrants who they're gonna vote for and shit. You know, nobody cares. But they're basically beating Black people over the head. You better vote for Biden. You know, you see what I'm talking about?
Yep.
And so therefore, and then the Africans and they're like spectators in America. They're like Black Americans getting all this attention. Yeah, we're the majority. They have accepted the fact that we are the fucking majority. We're the effective majority as far as Black people are concerned, you know? So therefore they and that's where the Pan-African conundrum comes in at. You know, these people are coming from poor third world countries that really don't matter in the global scheme of things. Nobody gives a damn about what's going on in Jamaica, really. You know, nobody gives a damn about the Barbados and everything like that. These countries have no money. They do care about what's going on in Black America. So therefore, I think that's what the problem is. When we talk about Pan-Africans, and then when Black people in America, they act so stupid because of Pan-African, they don't really use their power. You know, well, we're the majority. And like I said, when I went on this trip to Liberia, I realized that, you know. I realized that. It just dawned on me. We're the ones with the power, you know. You know,
And when you say we're the ones with the power, that's a deep word you just use, power, right? Because
we
some
don't have a consciousness. We don't have.
but hold on, Kala, because a lot of people I come across in the Pan African community, they say, well, Kala, Black folks in America have no agency, right? They say, oh, we don't have a country, we don't have agency, you know. So where's this power coming from? You know, because I hear from a lot of Pan Africans. Not saying I believe that, but I want you to explain.
We have agency when it comes to white people. We just never established any agency when it comes to other Black people. That's the problem. We just let anybody into our culture. You know, like this Dr. Sebi clown, you know, and all these other people that come into our community and whatnot and rip us off and mislead us, you know. You know, people come in. There's a lot of people that came from the islands and Caribbean and when that influenced Black America, when because we are taught, unfortunately, we are taught that black people. I'm not, and I don't believe in ADOS FBA. I'm not an FBA ADOS crap. I don't believe in that crap at all. But at some point in time, right, you gotta have a consciousness as an African American. That's just basically the truth. You have to have a consciousness as who you are. Or these people come here and dominate us and whatnot, you know. And we have certain things that we do. Like I said, I tell people all the time. Look, watch night. I don't know if you ever did watch night in your church, you know. Jamal, have you
Yeah,
did
I heard. Yeah, I heard of it. Yeah, yeah.
watch
I'm
night?
aware
That's
of it.
an
Yeah.
African American tradition, you know, goes back to the Civil War, you know, where black people would sit around, we eat black eyed peas in the dark with candles and whatnot, and bring in the new year. And say, well, do I? Yeah, we don't know, but it was a tradition. There's certain things we just do. That's our tradition that we just did for a long time. Was talking this the other day on my radio show. I said back in the days, remember you go down south one night and when it was thunder and lightning, what would your grandmother say? Y'all gotta be quiet. The Lord is talking. Remember that?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, these are old folklores. It's in the African American culture and everything like that, you know? And so even though you may say it's stupid and superstitious, but we're no more superstitious than anybody else that got folklores and stuff like that. That might be, you know what I'm saying?
Right. I be telling people folklore don't have to be true. You know,
It's just a folklore, you
it's a
know.
folklore. Yeah.
And so we throw our folklores away and whatnot because you know somebody from the Caribbean, somebody might not understand it or whatnot, and we gotta get down to real Pan Africanism. You know, that everybody gotta understand what we do. No, there's things even when I go to Liberia, right? There's certain things that they was do that I know that I can't be a part of. I see them doing their stuff or whatnot, you know, okay, you know, they're doing their Liberian thing, you know. There's got to be that space, you know, everybody has space. We can come together as black people, but everybody have their own individual thing that you got to respect. When it comes to Black America, that people think they're entitled, just like white people. White people think they're entitled to our music. Not everybody think they're entitled to our music. They think they're entitled to our culture and everything. To the point where we don't even know that the culture they're practicing is ours.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. Good point.
Black America have no culture. No, you're practicing Black American culture, our lingo, our slang, everything like that is evident every day. But you don't think it's ours because everybody feels like they're entitled to it. You know. And our culture is not a culture of desperation. You know, I can say, well, we Nigerians, our parents have to tell us to study. So yeah, because you guys are trying to build a country. You guys got a country you got to build. You know, so you got to hit them books. You know, we don't have to. All we need, all Black America needs is skills, trade, jobs, and business opportunity. You know. We don't have to do all the, you know, I gotta go out there and they gotta go to 5 different universities and shit like that. When they see us, don't take 20 years. And you ever see some of these Nigerians? They be like 50 years old just now to getting their degree and shit.
Hey, listen. I work at a university, man. I be seeing they be old as I don't know what, and freshmen, you know,
Yeah, so we
33
don't,
year
we
old
don't have to do
freshmen.
all that. Everybody's a freaking student and whatnot. They be like 60 years old when not a student.
Receding hairline and everything. Like, come on.
Yo, I said, that's not who we are, man. We don't be like that. You know, you college years in our culture, you know, by the time you're 24, college is a done deal. You gotta look at something else, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
But these guys basically like this. So, like I said, in the future, I do more shows like this. We gotta start setting the record straight. You know, I gotta start setting the record straight. You know, about who we are in the Pan African world, you know, because that's what the problem is, you know.
But Carla, what I noticed too in the Pan African world is that if we have an opinion as African Americans, they say, "Oh man, that's neo-colonialism. You know, you thinking Western and all this stuff.
Right.
How can we push back or have this kind of equal balance? Because look, I am African American. I'm not coming with no neo-colonialism.
But that's another thing that's unfortunate when they start calling you colonialists and everything like that. So basically, what you're saying is you got literally millions of white people and Arabs, everybody else coming to the continent, raping, carving thing. I seen it when I was a Chinese in Liberia. They're in a rural area, going up a river and whatnot. You know, they're looking for gold, whatever the fuck they're looking for, and everything. But yet you want to shine the spotlight on black people in America coming to Africa and whatnot. And you know, black people in America, for the most part, when they come to Africa, they're doing the right thing. They're trying to build something, everything like that. And yet,
Yeah, it's mostly spiritual. Right.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah, they're not trying to get rich or whatever like this. They just want to basically build something on their ancestral homeland, and they get hostility. That's why I say, we have to look at countries that that welcome us and understand who we are and everything like that. A lot of these people don't know us, and everything, and don't know us whether we could trust them. I don't trust Ghanaians. I don't trust Gambians. I don't. I don't trust Nigerians. I just don't. I'm sorry. If somebody could call.
Now, why you say that, Kyler? Because that can be kind of clear yourself up because they can try to take that and edit that. And what you mean by that? Elaborate
Well,
more.
the bottom line is, I'm seeing too much evidence, right? Too much evidence of people who are just absolutely hostile towards us. Now, if you say Black America, if we did something to some of these people, like as far as like Black America's foreign policy, whatever like that, but we have never done anything to harm Africa. Anything in Black America we do, we try to help out the continent, put in a good word, or make sure U.S. policy is fair towards Africa and everything like that. And there's this animosity towards us and everything in these particular countries. Like in Ghana, now they're basically saying that Black America is a problem. Let me see if I got. I'm gonna present. I'm gonna see if I
Yeah,
can.
I seen when you posted that. Yeah, was that you that posted that?
Yeah, I posted that. Yeah,
Yeah.
you made a comment, didn't you?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. That's unfortunate. Like, how can you say you return Ghana into Atlanta and stuff like that? That's kind of sad.
Yeah. So therefore, you got these people out here who are saying stuff like this, and basically, I don't want to live no place. If it's just like you live in a neighborhood, right, and you're probably the only Black person in that neighborhood, right, and then you get along with your white neighbors and everything like that, you love it, and then you find out there was a Klan meeting, and people say, well, geez, is that the same thing? If somebody wants to do harm to you, they want to do harm to you, whether it's Black or white. Do you care if somebody's gonna come up to you with a gun or machete? Do you care if they're Black or white with Jamal?
Nope. I don't care what color they are.
Right. You say so. You see the same thing, and that's what I'm saying. Black people in America losing their life in a lot of these countries. And not only that, when you go to these countries, that people are shaking you down all the time. They think you're a money bag. They're trying to get over on you, and they're trying to bleed you. It's like, dude, it gets impossible sometimes. So therefore, that's just the truth. We give more than we get out of Africa. So for them to freaking you come out of their mouth with something like that, we're ruining them. We're not. Where every time I look at African Americans, you know how many people have left the continent? They went there and they invested everything, sold a house, try to live their dream life, whatever like that, and they end up having to freaking come back to America after 5 years because it didn't work out, whatever.
Yep. It happens a lot.
It happens a lot. And so therefore, when people start saying stuff like, then what gets me is you got these Black people over there that are barely making it. A lot of people, like this is like Kiki Loves Nigeria did a good thing today. She was talking about that one chick, that ugly old chick, talking about Ghana's bad, whatever like that, which I don't really believe. It all depends on the circumstances you have. If you have money and stuff like that, you could do good in Africa, right? If you have money and everything and you have a circle of friends, you could do good over there. If you got
Right.
good residual income coming in, but a lot of people don't. And the bottom line, also, you got to have a good health care system. You got to be able to afford good health care. And so you get good health and medical care and stuff like that and everything. You just really have to have money, a nice place to stay, clean place to stay and everything like that. Once you have it all set up and then you'll live a good life over there.
Yeah, the key is that money though, Kyle. That's the main thing. Money, money, money.
Money. You got to have money coming in. You can't go over here talking about I'm gonna get a job. I'm gonna try to open up a business and everything like that. You're going to fail. There's not enough money in Africa, and that's
Remember the brother I told you was African American in Rwanda. He had the factory.
yeah.
He came back to the States. Yeah, he was getting taxed for everything. Overcharged for everything, from the government to regular businesses. A lot of Rwandese were stealing from him. Yeah, but he's a good brother though. But he tried. He said I had to come back, to make some more money. It's
And who
real
else?
out there, man.
Yeah, it's real out there, And so the bottom line, people don't tell you that about the so-called Pan-African world. Is come to Africa, invest in Africa and whatnot, and they don't have a plan. I have yet to see any real success stories in the Pan-African world as far as like investing in Africa. That's why I don't encourage it anymore. I'm not encouraging anymore. I'm saying, look, if you got $100,000 to lose, go right ahead. If you want to blow you want to blow $100,000, have a good time for like 3 or 4 years, go right ahead. But there's nothing set up between us and a particular government to basically make sure our investments are a thing, And that's what the Pan-African world has to take into consideration. Any of these governments protecting this move called Pan-Africanism, that's exactly what's bringing African Americans. It's this belief in Pan-Africanism. But the governments in Africa don't care about that.
Right. I do think it can work more if the governments were cooperating. I do agree with that.
And the governments had,
but for some reason, Kyla, most of Pan Africanism, I ain't gonna say all of it because you do have people at governmental levels that's practicing it to a certain degree, but most of the Pan Africans want to skip the government progress, right, and go straight to, the person on the ground,
right,
the lower class,
and that's why the BIO was created, so we could basically talk about infrastructure. We're building with governments and stuff like that. We're building institutions and everything like that. So it's on a high level. But some people just want to go there and just meet every clown that they meet at the airport. He's going to take them around and stuff like this, and you think you're doing something.
Hey, chief so and so. You gotta go through the chief, Colin.
Yeah, chief and all this kind of stuff like this. All these raggedy chiefs and whatnot. They see you coming. Yeah, I thought Black America had street smarts. Africans hustle on a different level, man.
Hey, Colin, we got street smarts till we land in Africa. Our eyes just light up for some reason. We forget everything. Hey, Colin, we forget everything we learned in Harlem or Atlanta. We forget all that stuff.
all our street smarts go out the door as soon as we hit to the continent, man. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. You're dealing with freaking third world people that are desperate, man. So you have to basically, these are the type of Pan-African conversations nobody want to have. It's about survival of the fittest, and we're going to do this Pan-African stuff. We're going to build new Pan-African thing. We need to be on the same page. All that sucker nigga Pan-Africanism stuff is gone. I'm done with it. I don't give a damn who's your so-called favorite Pan-Africans on these platforms and whatnot, no more. You're hearing this from the College Genesis. All that sucker nigga Pan-Africanism stuff like this, where Africans can do no wrong and whatnot. And you're just basically just going over there, sending our people over there to like, oh yeah, just go to Africa, go to Africa. Yeah, you're gonna get rich overnight and whatnot. We saw what happened with that, with the whole Lou Major situation,
Yeah, that was unfortunate, man. And I said, remember I called Colin. I said, Colin, man, something about this Lou Major guy. It's not adding up, man. Something about him. I kept saying that.
I said it
too. Yep.
I said it too. I said, look, man, something's wrong with this guy, man. He has this hatred for Black America. Like I said, he was the epitome of that hate, that Haitian that grew up in America. They hate Black America. They always comparing themselves to us and whatnot, See, Black America, we don't understand it because we're on top, We're on top, I have never had a reason to hate Haitians or Jamaicans and everything like that because we're the pinnacle, we're the pinnacle, I'm black, African American, born in America, born out of the greatest group of black people that ever lived and whatnot. That the most accomplished group of black people that ever lived, produced all the vendors, scientists, everything, you know. So therefore, I don't have any need to be jealous of people from freaking the islands or whatever like that, you know. But they do with us and whatnot, you know. There's jealousy and envy that they have, you know, deep down inside. Even though they call themselves Pan Africans, there's jealousy and envy. And so therefore, when you identify as African American, it annoys them. They don't want you talking about your African American this in front of them. You know, they get annoyed. And so Lou Major all the time. Well, but what does Black America got to be proud of? A lot. You know, and then he tries to bring up Haiti. Look, don't make us go there, bro. You know, don't make us go there. And they try to pit Haitians against Black America. And when I said, look, we never wanted to go there, but yo, Haiti's a fucking shithole, bro. And he's like, oh, Haiti's gonna rise one day and whatnot. Look at it now. That was like almost 5 years ago. Has Haiti risen up yet, Jamal?
Yeah, it's gotten worse, actually. Yeah,
It's gotten worse.
Mm-hmm.
So all these people coming at us and whatnot, you know, it's like this Black America, we're just a target for everybody. And like I said, it's all because most of the Pan-African discussions happen online. If we was having Pan-African discussions like we did back in the days in people's homes and the community,
or at the what they say, have them at the little like at your local church and the local ballroom and stuff like that. Right.
But now we got everybody online and whatnot. And when you're online, you're basically just spewing out all your nonsense and everything like that. You know, whatever you're feeling, and it just comes out and everything. Then you start going, like, who? I mean, think about it. I mean, I don't know if I ever been through a self-hating phase in my life or not. I don't know if I ever did. You know, I'm trying to think did I ever want to be another race and everything like that? I never did. I mean, one time when I was a kid, I wanted to be Chinese. You know?
Yeah, I think that might be natural as a kid. Maybe is that natural?
Probably. You know, I wanted to be like Bruce Lee when I always thought Chinese people were beautiful. I like the martial arts, the kung fu, and all that stuff like that. I wanted to be that shit so bad and whatnot. But then I grew out of it. You know?
Right. Grew out of it. Yeah. Like I never wanted to be another race at all.
You got people now are trying to create a whole new race.
Yep. Talk about it.
Huh? Aboriginal Black Indians and whatnot. What the hell, you know? So if you're tired of being black, you don't want to be associated with slavery. You don't want to be associated with slavery. You're they call themselves the real Americans. So you can wear the American flag.
The indigenous.
You're indigenous black. I'm saying, and then now that you could perm your hair, wear a weave and everything like that. You know, and these people are crazy and delusional. I like this one dude looking like Shaka Zulu talking about he's a Native American. Dude, man, you are not no Native American. Your bloodline's from the Congo, deep in the Congo, bro.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I'm like, yo, stop, you know?
Yeah, they are delusional, man.
Delusional and crazy. And I'm like, I'm saying to myself, I'm looking at these people like, what the hell? And because they're online, they got other people that join with them, you know what I'm saying?
Listen, you got Kyle, check this out. That ideology ain't even just in America. You got people in the Caribbean saying it too, and in the UK. Black folks in the UK saying the same thing.
Check us out. Yeah, not only that, which we call you ever heard about this theory that the world was once black and whatnot, that we're not that Africa is not the original home of black people?
Oh yeah, I ain't hear that one yet.
Oh yeah, you got Africans now talk about the original South Americans were black, so they could justify coming across Mexico.
Oh wow,
dude!
Yeah. Now I heard, hey Kyle, I did hear the Europe one though. Yeah, blacks, you know, we started Europe. I did hear that.
Yoruba was Europa. something like that.
Yeah. They say, yeah, we had all the churches in Europe.
You heard about this black samurai? They're trying to
I
people
heard
get,
that one too.
yeah.
Yeah, I heard
And
that
now
one.
they say now somebody's going as far as all the black samurai were originally black. Oh
Yep,
Lord, have
yep.
mercy,
To
mercy.
justify why they going to Asia. Yep, yep.
So they can go there and get themselves some Asian women and say, look, I know Nick. I have a PhD in what, Jamal?
Negroism,
Negroology.
Negroism,
Negro,
Negroology. Yeah,
I have a PhD in Negroology. So I know Negroes. You
yep,
know, bottom line, they say Koreans is the statue of Buddha is really a black man, so that justifies you going over to China and everybody and banging all those Asian women.
yep.
Yeah, that's what I said. Negroes, man. That's what I said. And the Pan African movement ain't too far from all this bullshit either.
It ain't Colin. It's gotten worse, man. It's not too far from it. I'm telling
It's
you,
not too far from it.
not too far from it. Cause it's a lot of similarities. Cause you think about Pan Africanism, you got the whole Kemet way of life.
Yeah.
Bishop Haru and blah blah blah.
And the bottom line is this: unless you could basically say, look, I'm African American. My ancestors came via transatlantic slave ship. We did what we had to do in America, but I'm looking for an African future, building on this. That's legitimate Pan African as far as African Americans. You know, that's legitimate Pan Africanism. But all this other stuff they talk about and everything like that, where you trying to deny your ancestors and everything like that, you trying to deny slavery happened. You try to deny the Mafa, the Holocaust. That's an abomination. What you're doing is spitting on our ancestors who died in the Holocaust. You know. Now they're like prove that the slave ships existed. I mean, this is just outrageous, crazy nonsense that we're going through right now in America. And what gets me is this. That's why I said, man, I do my own thing, and I know I'm gonna have people come at me, but I'm gonna have to be I'm gonna have to be like Chief X, my brother Chief X, man. Chief X doesn't give a damn. And Chief X showed me how to handle these dudes. Chief X told me, he said, these dudes are really nothing. They're liars. They're nothing. They're nothing. Chief X is just basically like, these people are nothing. He said, all these people that we have, Renoko Rashidi, all these people are just fake. And we have this thing in Black America where we got to stop idol worshiping. We put people up on a pedestal. Noah Rashiki, Dr. Heinrich Clark, and I have respect for Dr. Clark, but these people weren't anthropologists. So
Yeah, hey, Colin, man, I used to look up to all those black, people.
If they were
Man.
so what they are, we wouldn't have this Aboriginal movement right now.
That's deep.
That's how strong in academia and everything. So you mean you tell me the African American Historical Museum, that's all a lie. That's what they say. Yeah, so you're gonna believe they say a colonizer told you came on a slave ship. That's what they're trying to do now. They're trying to corner you into to rejecting your own history because they've hijacked the term colonizer. See, the colonizer told you so he can have access to America. So what's so important about Black people having access to America? What do you own in America? Do you own Pittsburgh? Do you own Philly? We don't own shit here. Do we own Las Vegas? Am I missing something, Jamal? What do we have?
Well, Colin, some people will say that, let's say Mayor Eric Adams, right? He's the mayor. He's managing New York City. Chicago, you have Chicago. You have Philadelphia with
All these major cities are managed by Black people, but I'm just talking about as far as the people who go to exclusive country clubs and they got millions of dollars coming to their bank account every day, and they take fly jets and whatnot. The real people who run the cities, where the wealth is, like that. Where the Black people that they aren't. The only closest you have is Atlanta.
Yeah, Atlanta.
Atlanta is like the closest you have, and the
Maybe
only
Detroit.
reason why you have that is because is because Black people work so well with white people in the South. It ain't Atlanta's not an all Black thing. You know, it's like black people are there. White people say, "Look, let's partnership and let's make money." So black people did well in Atlanta, but there's no.
Maynard Jackson helped too. He did a great job too.
But he did a good job in building the city, but he had to have that white capital. G Rock said, "What's about the FBA movement?" The FBA movement is not a movement; it's just a cult. You know, my problem with the FBA movement is anti-African. That's the only thing I have about the FBA movement is anti-African. It's basically saying that I'm a foundational Black American. That means you just not acknowledging your African roots and saying you're from Africa. And I believe we're Africans in America with a different American culture. We're Africans with American history and American culture. Hence, you're African American. That's what I believe about the FBA movement. Is they believe that somehow with some new race of people that just came out of nowhere, and all like I said, if we had real scholarship in America, there would be no there would be an FBA movement. People like this, people just get online. Someone like Tariq and all those other people would just disappear. Dane Calloway, how these dudes even being taken seriously? Because you gotta have people like Sinetta will have these people on because they bring in good ratings and it's about money. That's why YouTube and everything has been dangerous. The internet has been dangerous to Black people, you know? I was wrong. 2006, when I first got on social media, 2006, 2007, I thought, oh man, this is going to really change how we see ourselves and we're able to express ourselves. Boy, was I wrong. Boy, was I wrong.
Colin, it's made it worse, Colin.
It's made it 1,000 times worse.
Yep.
You know why? Because people that want to do good are silent, you know? Negativity and everything like that. I hope people understand. You're going to see more negativity and lies on social media. Everything you see on social media is a lie.
I don't know. I think it's real, but and a lie also, though, in a funny way, you know?
Yeah, it's lies. The fact that you can make up anything. You can make up any philosophy. You can make up anything. And next thing you know, you got people following you and having discussions about stupid stuff. Think about it, Dane Calloway.
And he has over 10,000 followers at least.
No, he has more than that. He has
he got more than that. I'm just saying hardcore ones. He got over, you know.
He has something like almost like 1 million people following him. And they actually believe, you got people, and you know what's going to happen? When you get older and you start thinking like that, your mind's going to go. When you start getting into the 60s and 70s, you believe in nonsense and everything like that, and when they start mentally evaluating you and everything like that, you ever see people like that? They're crazy. That's when you lose your mind. So Dane Calloway hates himself so much, don't understand the damage he's doing to somebody. You teach people real history and let them deal with it from that. But these people hate themselves so much, and so therefore they're giving people an outlet. If you hate yourself and you want to be called an Aboriginal Indian, hey, I'm the people for you. And you got people backing it up and everything like that.
And Colin, what's your thoughts on, I would say, not full mainstream, but the FBA, a lot of the talking points and some of the movement has reached mainstream America. Like, you know, you got, okay, for one example, right? Let's say pop culture, right? Kendrick Lamar kind of dives on it with the Not Like Us record. You know what I mean?
Like, when he's talking about,
I don't want to really go into the record that much. I hit you on the back channel.
Well, what does he mean by not like us?
Well, he's saying Drake is stealing pretty much Black American culture, and he's
Uh-oh.
colonizing it, and he's packaging it as a Canadian. That's pretty much what he's saying.
Yeah, I
Far
mean,
as
I have no problem with somebody basically standing up for
Mhm.
Black America.
Right.
You can single Drake out though. Drake's just an artist, a hip hop artist, and everything. Anybody can do hip hop. You know, I have no problem with people doing hip hop, regardless of your thing is. What I have a problem is like people look at hip hop and we know, okay, there's Puerto Ricans involved in hip hop from day one, but hip hop was Black American culture. You know, that was Black, the Bronx, Harlem, inner city culture.
it wasn't It wasn't Caribbean culture,
No,
Cal.
no. It was Black American culture and everything. There were no large numbers of Caribbeans there. You know, it was Black American culture from deep roots in the South. You know, the language, the slang, and everything like that. Everything like that was basically Black America. Like you go to somewhere like Treasure Street, Kumo D. Another good movie you should watch is Wild Style. And I looked at this stuff like you could tell when somebody from the island, you could tell when somebody Black America. The people that did Wild Style, those were Black African Americans, and Puerto Ricans. They were not Jamaicans and everything like that, Now, Jamaicans that were born in the city, that's another thing. Who basically born in the Bronx, who completely assimilated into Black American culture because they grew up around it.
That's a key word. Key words you said there. Yep.
Assimilated into Black American culture. So even when you had Jamaicans and you had Puerto Ricans, they were assimilated into Black American culture. And so therefore, when they say, "Oh yeah, we created," no, you didn't create nothing. There may be Jamaicans that did this, and Jamaicans that did this, island people that did this, Trinis. Like Slick Rick is from, I think Trinidad.
Yeah. By the way of the UK. By the way of the UK.
UK, But when you look at Slick Rick, his style and everything like that, I knew dudes like Slick Rick. Nigga was straight up B-boy from New York, That's Black America. Heavy D was from the islands,
Right. Heavy D, yep, he was from the islands.
But the bottom line, they consider themselves African Americans because they were born in the thing, Like Foxy Brown, I think she's from Panama. But she's like, yeah. But the bottom line is,
and she came way much later from the foundation in the beginning, Foxy. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this idea that when you live in Brooklyn, like Nicki Minaj, she's from what is she? Trini?
Yeah, she's from Queens. Yeah.
I know she's from Queens. But I'm talking about where she's from. She's Panamanian.
Trinidad.
Yeah. But she's a straight up Black on Queen. That's a culture of Queen. People understand America produced a unique Black culture. Whether you're from the islands or nothing like that, you're part of the African American culture. That culture is unique. It's different between somebody from Trini that was born in Queens and somebody from Trinidad. Two different things. You see what I mean? Like people from Guyana. You were born in Guyana and then migrated to the United States. Your culture and outlook is different. But when you grow up in the projects or something like that, and you grow up watching movies like Shaft, Rita Harway, and Hell Up in Harlem, your culture.
The rec center leader is African American. Your local rec center. Your coach is African Americans.
It's African American is a culture here.
Yeah.
No matter where you come from, you're African American. But what happens is white people got people running so scared to identify as being African American. You know, that they want. I'm not African American. My parents. You will grow up in our culture, right? You African American, and that's what a lot of African Americans are angry about. They're like you come here, you grew up in our culture, you made money like Busta Rhymes. This nigga grew up in Black American culture, right? Now he's gonna have some beef with us, you know.
Oh, he's super Jamaican now. I say, I'm surprised why I ain't never. Oh, why you ain't never, but you wasn't this Jamaican back in the day, 20 years ago.
But now because this is war on Black America right now, that everybody's piling on. You know, unfortunately, this war on Black America produces ADOS FBA movement.
Hey, Kyle, it's like a counterculture,
Right.
countercult. Yeah.
Blame the so-called Pan-African movement for that. The Pan-African culture is saying you don't have to identify as being Black America. We're all Black, whatever like that. So you got people doing their own thing and everything. No, Black American culture. When you come to the United States, Black American culture is the culture. You know, like people don't want to respect that. That means giving credit to Black people that you don't have any respect for. And people in the world have been taught that Black people in America, because most Caribbeans and everybody else, they're not trying to fight racism. You know, Black people, there's a certain amount of Black people that's all they want to do is talk about racism, George Floyd, BLM, Black Lives Matter, and stuff like that. And everybody, for yourself, everybody's tired of that shit. You know, they're tired of walking around worrying about racism and white supremacy. They want to be able to go out to eat. If they have some white folks there, whatever like that, they're cool with, oh yeah, what's up? And therefore they get around white people. I know what it is. You get around white people and they uncomfortable talking about racial. They may seem like we're so racialized. You ever notice that?
Yep.
And so by them saying that Jamaica, it disarms white people. That you don't have to worry about me. I'm from Jamaica. You see how it works?
Mm-hmm.
As America becomes more integrated and everything like that, America saying, we'll accept you. You have to have some ambiguities about you. You can't be like a college Genesis, African Americans, proud of his culture and everything like that. I'm unacceptable. You got to be somebody that basically say, oh, man, I'm from the Caribbean. Our parents came here. We worked hard. But that's what white people want to hear. And I got no problem with America. That's what you got going on right now. Everybody nobody wants to do this fight no more. And people, they need to realize that. That's why when I came up with the BLL ID, they said I understood that's the way it was going. I said, if you stay in America, that's what's going. Our whole history and everything is going to be erased. That's why I said it was time for us to have a nation of our own, and we're going to save our identity. Because America wants to erase our identity.
But ain't that's what Pan Africans wants to do too?
Well, yeah.
Like, change your name to Baba so and so, come under this chief, start eating soya and fufu now.
Yeah, everybody use Pan-Africanism for the same reason. To get away from being Black American, I'm gonna change my name, change my identity and everything. I'm a Yoruba now, and I don't have to worry about the white man no more because I identify as a Yoruba. And people don't understand something. No matter where you go to the moon, you're still gonna be African American. Because think about it, America is a country where everybody loves. But America has this one problem, this one conundrum. It has these Black people here that they never gave justice to. And they can't assimilate us into the full society. So other people have this idea Like they're gonna assimilate into American society. And we know that's not possible because of the color, race, color is real. We always knew that. But a lot of black immigrants are delusional. They really do believe that one day white people are gonna basically, they're gonna have their kids dating white people and going out to stuff. If you buy into that nonsense and everything, even though white people know that's not gonna ever happen, but if you believe that, and they can control you, they can use that carrot and stick of integration and peace and love, peace and happiness. But over in real world, that's not going to happen. We know that because our history is tied to those plantations in the South. That plantation system was the most brutal system the world's ever seen, and we remember the lynching and all stuff like that. We remember all that shit. Black Wall Street, everything. We're the keepers. We're the keepers of our people. And a lot of black immigrants don't understand that. They come here and they think it's a party, and they never really had to fight for anything in America.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Hey, Kyla, what you think our position should be? Because I haven't really talked to you about this since it happened. As Black folks, as Pan Africanists, as Black America, what should be our position on Israel?
My whole thing is Israel is a state, right? The Israelis gave the Palestinians Gaza. You know how developed Gaza was, bro? Jamal,
Not very developed, was it?
No, it was highly developed.
Okay. Enlighten me.
Gaza had tunnels, and the infrastructure was immaculate. They had hospitals, tunnels, they got everything, bridges, everything. Gaza was highly developed. But the bottom line is this: the Hamas and all these other people used Gaza to stage a war against Israel. They left Gaza with laboratories, scientists. They could have really developed themselves, but these people don't want to do that, just like all that land in the mid desert. The Palestinians, the Palestinians at one time went to Jordan, and the Jordan ended up kicking them out because they tried to overthrow. They invited them in out of sympathy, and then the Jordanians ended up kicking them out because they tried to overthrow the government. That's why none of these countries won't take any Palestinians in.
Oh, wow. I never knew that reason, Kyla. I never knew that. Yeah. Wow.
The people that use this Palestinian stuff are the same people that used BLM a couple of years ago. It's all about being anarchists, right? Israel, because Israel is a successful country, it's now a colonizer, It'd be the same thing if we built a nation in Africa. Some of these leftists in the world will say, yeah, colonizer, even though we're settling on our own land and everything. Do you know even in Botswana, the Tswana people are the majority, right? They're the majority, right? They're trying to actually make them out to be the so-called colonizer of the sand and the Bushmen.
Get out of here.
It's a divisive term, I'm like this. Israel built a state, If you have a state and you have a republic, I'm for you. Now, you got even in Japan, they're trying to say that the Okinawans are the real indigenous Japanese and the Ainu and all like that the Japanese are actually colonizers of those islands and whatnot. These people are sick. They go around the world trying to friggin' destabilize countries with this who's a colonizer and who's indigenous. That's why they call me the college genesis. It was my job to know this stuff. Same thing in Liberia when they call American. There was never a group of people called American Liberians, but they created a group called American Liberians just so you could hate them, The indigenous people and the American versus the American Liberians. You see how it works? And it works.
Yeah, that's not even how the war went, right?
No. Well, founded by, they always go back to the founding, but the country was founded by ex-slaves. Well, yeah, they built the country. You go there, you see the architecture and the stone masonry of our ancestors who built that country. It's unbelievable. I urge anybody to go to Liberia. I went there this year, and when I go there every year, the bottom line is it's remarkable what our ancestors were able to build in that country.
Yeah, because a lot of Pan Africans go with that narrative too. You know, we went there as colonizers.
Yeah,
We can't do that next
a
time. We
lot of those
can't.
so-called Pan Africans will never build anything. These are Pan Africans have no skills. They have no somebody who's a mason
They
or
hate capitalism too. Hate capitalism.
somebody who basically is doing something with his life that's productive. When I will see any sort of progress and identify with it. People who don't identify with progress are people who have nothing going on for their life. They got nothing going on. So they hate any sort of success that somebody else might have. Our ancestors built that country. They ain't colonized it. They built it.
Yeah, because you know some Pan Africans saying we have to automatically take the position of Palestinians. You know.
Why?
Well,
Why?
Kyle, when the civil rights movement there, they was backing us and all this. And...
I don't remember that. I don't remember no Palestinians freaking like, I don't like, I mean, I feel sorry for the Palestinians. I hope one day they can get it together. They can have their own state, whatever like that. But that's not my problem. I'm not going to be out there getting, you see these black people out there. I seen one thing in Atlanta. Well, you notice how when the black colleges would start acting up, man, the police came, you saw the police did with the black people, right?
Oh yeah.
Well, they came out there and said, oh, hell no. The white kids were camping out and shit like that. Black people, they put the baton to them, had these black people out there. Is it really worth you going to jail over some people you don't even fucking know?
Yeah.
So I'm like this. I said, look, the Palestinians started a war. And can we agree on that?
That's a fact. They start well, yeah, they started October 7th.
They started a war. They thought they were going to beat. They thought they were going to win, and the beatback was so severe, and Israel's determined to crush them. Now they want. Sympathy. And the sympathy is they want the Jews to commit suicide to the river, to the sea, whatever like that. That's genocide talk.
Yep, it is.
So I'm like this. If you could do that, I'm like this. Look, to the victor belongs the spoils, right? If you could drive Israel out and take it over, now, hey, go right ahead. But now when Israel fights back and says we want to exist as a nation and we're going to do anything to survive, and a lot of you get killed, hey, that's on you. You see what I mean?
Why Egypt won't take them?
Egypt don't want them either. Same thing. They're troublemakers. Nobody wants these people. They're problem people. So I'm like, hey, look, the Palestinians, you guys started with Hamas and everything. And then not only that, the Palestinians, people don't realize this, are invented people. Do you know there was no such people as Palestine in some post-war?
Yeah, a lot of them come from the different clans in like Jordan and Saudi Arabia, right?
Some were Christians, some were animists.
Mm-hmm.
They just gave them that name, Palestinians, because they lived in the land called Palestine. There was nobody actually there. There was just a bunch of.
Some of them came from Syria too, right?
In Syria, they came from all over.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them came from Europe. Some of them came from as far away as Central Asia. Some of the Palestinians used to be black.
Mm.
There's no group of people Palestinian, or they're invented people by the media. There's no Palestinian culture like this. You want to say, well, they're Muslims. No, they're not. Palestinians originally were Christians. They were everything. They were Jews. They were Palestinians and everything. People don't realize that.
Yep.
So I'm not gonna take it. Oh, yeah, I gotta support the Palestinians for what? I know the history of the place. I'm all for anything. I'm all for civilization. You know, I side with civilization all the time. The people who got their shit together and everything like that can actually give me a functioning state, whatever like that, those are what I'm gonna support. And the people, I'm looking at people that all the conflicts around the world, it's always lazy people. You know, don't invent nothing, don't build nothing, don't create nothing, everything. All they want to do is sit back and be like, oh, I'm so oppressed and everything, but they don't build anything. You ever notice that? People
Absolutely, absolutely. On a global stage, absolutely.
people don't create nothing, don't build nothing and everything. And they just want everything handed to them. They think the world owes them something because you're born. I don't believe in that, you know. They're like, oh yeah, well, we're gonna do this. Well, what do you do? What do you do? Like these people in America always complaining and whatnot. But what have you contributed to this country that you're making all these demands? Nothing. So why should we listen to you? I say, well, even when I said about Donald Trump, I got to admire how he built New York City. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. He did something with his life, you know. But people are like, oh no, he's just that, you know, thing. Well, what did you do with your life? What'd you do? What'd you build? Well, his father left him with all this money and everything like that. So what? People, this is another thing in life, right? Like you, Jamal. Let's say if you were able to leave your son $200,000, right? And everybody start hating on your son because he had a start in life. Should that be your son's fault?
No, it should not.
Well, people will hate on him, right? Because you did the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the type of world we live in. You know, people who do the right thing, save, and pass something down and everything like that. And then, so the next generation have a start in life and everything. They have a business and everything like that. That business is successful. They leave it to their kids and whatnot. Then people like these rich, they got everything. They got everything like that. But when you look at their story, background story, the great grandfather started with nothing. You know, and he did this, he did this, he did this, and next thing you know, boom, they're at this. Your grandfather was getting drunk and everything like that, not doing anything with his life. That's why you ain't got shit. And somewhere along the line, like I said, the first world and the third world, you know, I don't know how the Pan African world is going to work if we have these like 2/3 of the black world is chronically in the third world and they don't want to build anything and they don't want to create anything. You know what I'm saying? And you think it's all right to just bum rush the borders in America and come here and whatnot. You know, now you make a philosophy talking about now they're saying, oh yeah, well, our ancestors were stolen from America. America owes us because of the transatlantic slave trade. So that gives you justifies you coming across the border. And you know, this is what I'm talking about. You hear what I'm talking with this, Jamal?
Yep, you're right.
And that's what we have, man. It's third world shit. We can't do that. We can't do that. And also, what I hate is these so-called African American, Pan African, who just bow down to these third world nonsense and everything, just go along with everything they say and everything like that. You know.
And like you say, Kyle, it do come from that tradition of because we had a lot of third world people become some of our biggest cult leaders in African American culture.
Right, exactly.
How about Daddy Grace? Remember Daddy Grace?
Yeah, he was from the Cape Verde.
Yeah, he came from a third world.
We always get these third world types when leading us and shit, you know. It's Dr. Sebi, you know.
Dr. Sebi, yeah.
We got these third worlders and whatnot, you know. Like I said, I saw that on that trip with Bomani and them, man. I said, look, I can't let third world. No, you can't. You can't lead.
So what did you see on the big you like? This is not the way from.
Just the whole freaking not embracing Liberia like I thought it was gonna be, you know. You know, I said this is just third world shit, you know. How the fuck are you gonna compare Jamaica with Liberia? And it's not even a comparison.
Mm-hmm. Was it like far as like the government or?
Well, no, you know, Liberia is tore up in a lot of places, but it got a lot of good infrastructure. It's getting there, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But the bottom line is when you can always say this. I saw a video the other day where this Chinese girl was going. You see that video going viral? Where
Which
Chinese,
one?
she's saying that Jamaicans aren't black. We're Jamaican too. She's talking a Jamaican accent.
Oh, on TikTok. On
Yeah, it's on
TikTok.
TikTok. It's all over the place.
Hmm.
So Jamaicans, black Jamaicans, don't even have a fucking country they could identify as a Chinese. Like you, the Jamaicans aren't black. You know, everybody's Jamaican.
Oh yeah, they always kick that. Everybody's Jamaican. Everybody's South African. You know what I mean? That's what they say.
So I thought the only person that could be a Liberian is a black person of African descent. You know, and
And they didn't appreciate that law they got. They
that's
didn't
what I'm
appreciate.
saying. They don't, like I said, I'm starting to wonder, are these people Pan Africanists? You know, that's the first thing. Only what black people go on land in this country. That should have been the first thing. Like, God damn, this is, you tell me you go over to Ghana and you see white in the Gambia. They go to the Gambia all the time and they're
Oh
seeing
yeah, the Gambia, not but white folks over there.
white folks over there pedophiling black kids and whatnot. They all cool with that shit, you know? And I'm
Yep.
like, fucking, and they got so much to say about Liberia. Come on. That's what I said, man. I said, look, I can't let these third world people fucking leave me. No, can't do it. Man. Cannot do it. That'll never happen in Liberia, you know, for some white man with white women walking around preying on our youth and everything like that. You know, never happen in Liberia.
Hey Kyle, did you know that most of those Lebanese that's over there with businesses, you know, they most of those buildings are owned by American Liberians. You know that?
Yeah, no, Liberia is still owned by American Liberians, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And the Lebanese just lease property.
Yeah, yeah, they get at least yeah.
And they fix them up nice though, you know. Or they go partnership or whatever like that. But whatever it is, Liberians benefit. They got this place called China Mall, man. You can get anything in there, man.
Oh
Appliances.
yeah, how big is it?
It's huge.
Mm.
It's half owned by Liberians and half owned by Chinese. But all Liberians work there, you know. It's huge, man. You can get anything from microwaves to anything, plates, you know, anything, computers, typewriter, everything, you know, everything under the sun, right? You know, you can get cooking up, the grill, anything you want, you know, called China Mall. So, like I said, man, I said, this is a country. If you're African American, you'll preach like Liberia, because you're not used to being in a country where you're the majority. You know what I'm saying? And you're appreciated. You know, if I came from like Jamaica and stuff like that, you're used to being a majority, so it's no big deal to you. You know, that is a big deal to me. Not only that, the people practice my culture. You know, I see people going to church. I see people doing stuff that I see my people doing in America. You know, it looks like the rural South. You know,
It was a lot of familiarity.
a familiarity. You always got to have familiarity.
Mm-hmm.
Like when European immigrants settled in enclaves, when they had Little Italy. You know, why they settled there? Why? Because it was familiar.
Yep, yep.
People like familiarity. You got to set up things to make yourself comfortable. You know, in a place like that. You know, Liberia is definitely a soft landing as far as like Black America and stuff like that, you know. And you notice that a lot of these people that be going to Ghana are not even African American. They're people from the Caribbean, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. But most of them African Americans though, right?
No, most of the people go to Ghana. It's only a percentage of them. Most of them are from the Caribbean, you know. They're from Caribbean, Jamaica,
What part though? What part of the Caribbean?
Jamaica, Guyana, Barbados, and stuff like this. And they
Mm-hmm.
lived in America for a long time and whatnot, you know.
Oh, okay, okay.
And Ghana's like the Caribbean, you know. So that's why people go there and whatnot, you know. But you got African Americans who go there, but those is people like, you know, they'll go there and there's, oh yeah, but me, I like the African American Pan African experience.
Mm-hmm.
There's a real good, strong Pan African experience for African American. We got something to say. What you call the When you deal with people in the Caribbean and stuff like this, they're off in their own world. They're enjoying paradise and they're doing this and enjoying themselves. You know, but Black America is different. You got some black people in America that live in a Sable. You know, Sable is that community in Sable. I think they're doing pretty good. One lady got this nice house she built. That's where Kofi lives.
Mhm.
She got this nice house she built. How is she gonna keep it? Because you got locals talking about they're gonna take some of that land back. Who wants to live like that though? You start land sitting there doing nothing when you start building on it, and suddenly they want it back.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I'm like, nah. You build something in Liberia, it's yours. You get that deed on that property, it's yours. No chief, no nothing. We don't have all that chiefy weefy shit.
Oh yeah, yeah. You gotta go through the chief, Kyle. I go through the chief. Chief so and so.
See, like Liberia, our ancestors, we settled that years ago. We put our foot up their asses and whatnot. And took and built a state. So we don't have to fucking go through no chiefy weefies.
So Liberia, you going through like government officials. You ain't gotta go through chiefs and
It's
nothing like
three
that.
types of land. It's private property, which I sell. I help sell private property in Liberia. You got private property. You got traditional land, like in the interior and stuff like that. That can be turned into private property, right? Traditional land, you can't touch that unless you got a chief, whatever like that. And it can be turned into private property, like registered private property. And then you got government land, state land. Private property is what people deal with. You get willing buyer, willing seller. You can buy property over there. You could be any black person could buy property in Liberia and get a deed to it in your name. All you have to do is keep paying the taxes on it, it's yours. And I explained that to them in Liberia. I said, you don't have to go through all that. Fucking the chief and all this kind of stupid shit, You buy the property here, it's yours, And not only that, all Liberia, all the way up the coastline, you're connected to the grid.
Oh yeah, even all the way through Maryland.
I don't know about down there, but from Grand Bassa all the way up to Robertsport, you're on the grid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they got grids down there too and whatnot, but I don't know how extensive. I haven't been down that part of Liberia. And then Nimba is really, really good because their grid is connected with the country of Guinea.
Mm. Is the remnants of the war still there?
No, you got some places that look like they're like this, but for the most part, people are buying properties up, fixing them up, everything. You got this company called City Builders there, man. They be taking old properties and rehabbing them and whatnot. It'd be looking like brand new.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy myself every time I go there.
Yeah, I know you do, man. You can see it in your face.
I enjoy myself when I go there. I have a good time.
And how I feel when you land at the airport at Roberts International.
I feel good, man. Just one last time I came there, the motherfucker in the airport, man. They gotta do something about the airport. The motherfuckers are rude as shit.
Oh yeah.
I gotta tell my guy, Mr. Fellows, he's the head of university. He was just put on the aviation board, the airport board. I'm gonna have a long talk with him, man. I told him about that a little bit, but we didn't really delve into it. I'm like, yo, look, you better do something about this. The first people see when they come to your country is a fucking airport, and these people are fucking rude. Yeah, too many people around there trying to grab your bags. That's like, dude, man, I don't need you to carry my bags. I'll carry my bag to your car. They want $10. Get the fuck out of here, So you gotta do something about these people at the airport. That's the only thing.
Yeah, that's wild.
I had a good time, man. I had a ball. I was there for a whole month.
Yep.
Whole month.
How was the weather?
It was perfect, man. It was hot, but it was perfect. It was all right. It was all right. When you're sitting under the AC, it's all right.
Mm-hmm.
Always make sure you have a place with some AC in it or fan.
Monrovia.
But yeah, like I said, man. So like I said, I like Liberia because it reminds me of the South. You know, it reminds me of America. You know, it's like a little America.
Hmm.
I like familiarity. You know, I'm driving through Monrovia. I feel like I'm driving through like Norfolk, Virginia, or something.
Wow.
So people understand that was my thing. You know, I like familiarity. You know, familiarity is good for me. And like I said, you when you talk about Pan Africa, you got to pick your countries right. You know, pick your countries right. Like I said, we cannot sleep into third worldism. I see these guys. What do you think about these guys on the street corners hawking now? When that you know with these you see these vendors coming from what you call New York, flooding the streets with these fucking fruit stands and whatnot. You know, I'm like, yo, I mean,
And what are they doing?
in New York, they got these vendors from Venezuela, just flood the streets with these freaking hot dogs.
Oh yeah, yeah. No permits, not.
No permits, no nothing. And then they get mad. All they're doing is I hate these white people. They're like, all they do is try to earn a living. They look. If that was the case, you know how many people would love to fucking have a business in New York? We can make like $500 a day. We would have denied that shit, you know, because the permit's so expensive. You know,
Yep, yep,
why should these people just come here out of nowhere and just be able to break the law? And when you
yep.
do that, it's like I said, third worldism. When laws are not obeyed and whatnot, just like just do what you want to do as long as you're making money and everything like that. That's third worldism.
That's a fact.
It's that third world stuff. You got to have law and order. You can't have everybody out there with street carts and everything like that. You know, I tell people all the time. I said, no, we can't. And Liberia's trying to clean that shit up too. You know, we can't everybody bending. They're creating like little places where people, the market people, could sell that stuff at instead of just everybody flooding the roads up with stuff and debris. Like Rwanda is the one he did, you know. But some Liberians are so hard headed, they don't want to listen. They created market stalls for them, right? They get free of charge. They could bring this stuff to and sell them, but instead you got people still want to sit on the side of the road. Now they're getting tough on the stuff. They're impounding people's stuff. You know, they cut down on these motorcycles and everything like that, are running all over the place and everything like that. So they're cutting down. You got to have law and order. Now, if I say something like that, and you know what they're gonna say in the panel call it, man, you just a fucking what are they gonna call me? You know, that's the truth though. Anytime somebody talks about law and order and stuff like this, you're no longer black. It seems like you're no longer black. You're no longer Pan African. If you believe in any sort of structure and rules and regulation, you're demonized. And I'm all for structure. And I'm sorry, we can't have structure. We can't have everything. Anyway, it was a good show. Jamal, I'm gonna get
Yeah,
ready to
that was good, man. You did a good 2 hours, man. I'm proud of you, Colin. That's what's up, man.
2 hours. I'll be back next week.
Yeah,
We can get some more people on, you know.
yeah, no doubt. Yep, yep.
It's
And I see
cool.
you had a nice little chat too. You had 6 people in the chat. I seen people listening. It was coming in and out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, eventually,
And this was a pop up joint. This is your first joint on YouTube, in a while. Yeah.
second,
Second one, yeah.
second. So next week, every Saturday night, I'm gonna do a show.
Yeah, yeah. And blast it out, you know what I mean? And I'll blast it out a couple places.
Right.
Yeah, it'll be good, yep.
Yeah. So we don't need a whole lot of people. Just
Yeah,
so people like listen, so they could pick up these shows in the thing. It's out there, you know.
right.
Hopefully, I get some feedback. You know what I said. And I'm gonna redirect the conversation because right now everything is just out of whack. You know.
Yeah, it is. It
You
is.
think, you think anybody else is gonna come at is gonna say what I just said tonight?
Nope.
You know, they go with the same.
You notice your contemporaries. They never dive into the nuances that you talk about when you talk about Africa and Black America.
Yeah, the
It's
nuances.
always these vague kind of things they say, you know. But
Vague,
yeah, you nailed it, Calvin, for
the
sure.
vague and abstract and whatnot. And I'm like, no,
Yep.
there's a lot of nuances to this shit. If you're talking about somebody freaking making a move, like moving to the African continent, shit, you better know what everything you're getting yourself into. You know, I'm not gonna candy coat this shit no more. I'm just gonna tell it like it is. You know, maybe you should stay in America. You know, leave this alone. All right, Jamal, I'm gone.
All right,
Take,
take it easy,
take
Calvin.
care,
Peace.
take care,
All
Chief.
right, peace. Peace.